Alright, so I think the previous one ended at about 45 minutes. So pretty much what happened since then is the Persia player obviously left after he failed to take my capital, and now I'm pretty much just going to take his capital because the AI doesn't know how to handle units. So there's no real challenge or basically I've got it. Well, he does eventually end up building the Great Wall, which causes me some trouble, but I still get it. So. And yeah, so as you can see, I'm not doing too well in the early game. If you look just at my stats on the screen, I'm at only 30 science, negative 12 gold a turn. I don't have both my trade routes up. I was at negative 3, but now I'm at 1 happiness, so I guess that's not too bad. I'm only at 10 culture and 1 faith. Yeah, things are going too well. My city's only at 11 pop and 6, and then not at 2. That's not really too good, but yeah, and I'm going to get hit and signed soon from the budget deficit, so that's unfortunate. But I am going to get currency, so that should balance it out. But yeah, yeah, so basically at this point in time, it's pretty much Indonesia and Rome's game, or they're Longhorn fan or India, they're not really doing much. They're kind of like me, except India's really iffy. Like, you would think that because I'm more of a tall player, like in this game I only get 3 cities, or well, I get 4, but one of them someone else's capital, so that doesn't really count. But I hate India because I like to expand fast and early, but not too much. So I like to get my good settlements up early. I don't want to have to wait to get happiness because of India's unique ability. And they also normally don't. I'm not sure what their start bias is, but their starts normally aren't too good, or at least from my experience. But that might just be me. Mm. But yeah, so now sort of well, not really. That city just had to finish a barracks, and now it's going to get 2 units out that I had pre-built to for 1 turn left. Yeah, pre-building units is that's usually when I defend or I know someone's going to attack me. I don't really build a ton of units. I just pre-build a lot because it's I'm going to get hit with probably -5 or something like that science per turn now because of my deficit. And then the AI builds Terracotta Army as usual. They always do that. I don't know why. And then usually what I try to do to counteract that science deficit is switch all my cities to gold focus for the time being. It sometimes works if your cities have good gold tiles, and then I get rid of that because I don't need that. And then I also get rid of that because I'm done exploring this. I didn't really have good areas. I don't think I really built any ships in Braga, which I probably should have looking back at it, but I guess yeah, that's just my purely my decision. And then yeah, so now I'm gonna explore around his capital. And then I'm gonna get my spearmen in 1 turn. Oh yeah, I should probably, well, I'm just basically, I'm not doing much, I'm just going to take his capital real soon, so I guess I could talk about, well, originally I wasn't going to record today, but yet again, the event that was planned for today got rescheduled. Freaking, the weather is terrible. So, I won't, this week, for sure now, 100% sure, if you're watching this, I will not be recording Wednesday or Friday. And then, so yeah, that means I have today, Tuesday, and Thursday. So what I plan on doing is, today I'm doing my Civ multiplayer commentary. Just, I don't know why, because I felt like I would get that out of the way for this week. Because what I want to do the next recording is, I was thinking there's this, I'm gonna have to check the name, but I follow people on social media, mainly DDLC stuff, and they've been talking about apparently there's this, I know there's shows that revolve entirely around the relationships of characters, and I mean relationships like love triangle type stuff. I know one of them's Starverse: The Forces of Evil, which I don't really watch, and that's the main one I've heard of. But there's this new one that It's only one season, so it's worth watching. If it's more than like two or three, then I'm not gonna bother to invest that much time into it. But it's called Darling in the Franxx with two X's, and I've sort of gotten spoiled. I know it's sort of like an actual love triangle instead of like I know another show. What's it called? The Miraculous Ladybug, which I watched it like a few years ago, and apparently they never did anything else with it. So, but that revolved around like a love square, which I don't know why, but this one's actually like a love triangle between like the main character and then like two other girls. I don't know why I'm saying this because I'm killing Persia right now, but yeah, usually I should give tips about this and then speak about that once I'm done conquering Persia. But and I'm also using Oz. I should have deleted some of these workers, but actually no, I shouldn't really have because I'm using them like I'm actively using them. Like I'm making road connections, repairing all my improvements. So, but yeah, usually it's a bit late for combo warring. Like you should probably like start if you're planning on warring someone at this point, like being the aggressor. If it's this late, you should wait for crossbows, or you should already be at crossbows. But usually early game wars, comp bows, crossbows, those are the main. You usually don't use like catapults, trebuchets, cannons. Cannons are somewhat good. You probably should use cannons if you're going to war at around that time. But then again, at that point you can just sort of wait till artillery or pop or bulb it to artillery. But in this scenario, like for melee units, if you have horsemen, or chariot archers, but it's a bit late for chariot archers, so because people are probably gonna be using compos. I'm pretty sure I flash to Rome sometime soon, and he's building crossbows, not compos. Yeah, basically what I'm doing is spamming compos and spearmen because I know the AI they're not gonna like know to tech to like military or like know to like produce the counters of those if they can get an easy military tech. But yeah, I guess yeah, it's mainly that's pretty much early to mid game, or at least like early game wars, just essentially combo spam or chariot archer spam. And then mid game war is essentially crossbow spam. The melee units aren't as important. Once you get to the modern era with like infantry, then melee becomes super important because that's really the only thing defending your city. Because even if you have like artillery and such, like planes can one-shot artillery if they have the right promotions, so you really need like that's when melee units become important. But now it's pretty much about the ranged, especially because the ranged can move and shoot, or I guess the technical term is they can shoot without, or they can shoot without having a prep phase. So yeah, I think yeah, I'm gonna kill that finally, and then again our worker. I'm actually not doing too bad in terms of gold, despite me. And I'm getting my markets up soon, so my gold should be doing better. Hopefully it will. And I'm getting a road connection between Lisbon and Porto. Not necessarily Lisbon and Braga. I usually only do that for cities like Porto has two good gold tiles. Braga is one, but it's at size 4, so it's practically useless. But Lisbon, since it's gained at least 6 gold that I know of, it's wise to connect it. And then I get my deal ended, and unfortunately, because I took Darius's capital early on, that prevented me from sort of like trading with any AI for the rest of the game. Oh yeah, and Rome gets the Hagia Sophia, which one of the few wonders, or I might consider a building that don't affect infrastructure, but it's highly situational. So like if I've spare production for whatever reason and I don't have a pantheon and there's like a religion left, then I might build it just for that free great profit, but other than that, there's just religious victory isn't a thing in this, so religious wonders really are like if you have dead production, and even so, if you have like dead production, you should be like pre-building units just in case, or hard build units. Like if you have spare cities that with the tradition oligarchy bonus, you might as well just build a unit or so. But yeah, now I'm going to start to surround this city because that's what you normally do. You don't want to get within bombardment distance unless you're ready to like take his city. You don't want to like move in and out. You want to go. And then yeah, so I'm gonna get a market done to my cap, so that should help with gold. But anyway, yeah, now that that's done, I guess back to it. So pretty much I might film like reaction videos to that as long as I give the creator copyright. And I'll have to see if those videos are up on YouTube because I don't want to make like an account on whatever anime site I'll need to watch it. If even if it's free, like if I pay for it, I'm definitely not making an account. But even if it's free, like why would I just make an account? That's one more account that I don't need in my life. But most likely I won't. I'll have to see. So for the actual, oh, the game might lag out here. No, it's just the host is lagging a bit. His spiking, but so what I plan on doing is, all right, there's the spearman. There's a camp. I think on that grassland tire or something. Yep, found it. Unfortunate because now I don't have any units. They're all surrounded. And for whatever reason, he has tons of barbarian issues. I don't know why. Oh, and that was a mistake. I didn't see the marsh, so that was totally my fault. But anyway, so yeah, what I'll do is I think what I'll do is tomorrow I'll probably record. I'll download Behind Closed Doors and then I'll record that. And I've already been spoiled to the game a bit. I saw a thumbnail on YouTube, very unfortunately, that, and I guess the reason part of the reason I'm not doing it today is because oh yeah, and I also have horses. I don't know why. Oh, I might have just hooked them up, but yeah, I don't really know why. But anyway, yeah. So I guess I'm waiting today to see if any new updates come in because I know the game's being updated fairly often, but still, I guess that I'm just still kind of salty about that, so I don't really want to think about it. So, but the game does essentially take place in Act 2. That's one thing I can say without spoiling what I saw in that thumbnail, because I hate spoilers. Oh, and I do eventually get a road to Braga. Oh, my barbarians also, look at that. I didn't shoot the camp for whatever reason. I guess to continue to annoy Darius. Oh, yeah, and I gotta do this most efficiently. That is one move. Yeah, that's... I sort of want, for it. I honestly have no clue why there are so many barbarians, but it's kind of interfering with my plans on taking the city, so. Yeah, now I'm just building all ranged units, chariots, even though it's way too late for chariots. Oh, I'm building chariots. I'm sending them to Persepolis. Yeah, chariot in 2 turns over compo in 3. The only thing a compo has is 1 more strength and 1 more range strength, but it has, it only has 2 movement versus 4. So, and since I have 2 horses, I might as well make use also of horsemen. Oh, geez, still, I don't know, that might be, it makes sense why there would be tons of barbarians from the west, but I don't know why there are so many camps to the east. Like, he should have been, after I made that first settlement, he should have been eyeing that coast, because if someone settled on me like how I did to this guy, I didn't even really forward settle him, I just sort of blocked him off. But I would be eyeing like the coast or something. I wouldn't be just like staying. Because like on him and India were on 1 city at like turn 50, and that's not really that ideal. I was on 2 and I would have gotten my 3rd, but that was for yeah. Now I'm making use of all the workers. I normally don't build this many. I try to go around 1 per city unless it's like a city with a ton of resources, then I might go 2, but still. Yeah, at this point I'm probably largest military in the world because none of the Arab players are prepping for war at this point in time. I know Rome Expo rushes or crossbow rushes Indonesia somewhat soon. And I have no clue what Rome's looking like in terms of cities, because I haven't seen that far. I know that Indonesia is a city off the coast that has like the Sherpada or something. They get the natural wonder, but oh yeah, I got my chariot archer. Now I'm working on circuses. And now, oh yeah, I can trade with Longhorn Fan. I trade with that guy. Oh yeah, he's at 15. And then I don't want to build something that takes up maintenance costs, especially when I'm at -14. But yeah, oh, and they accepted my deal, so I still build the circus because it has 0 maintenance, but other than that, also the other guy was Longhorn fan. I'm gonna do my deal with him. I don't think I did a deal with him because I anticipate he would attack me for whatever reason. Indian war elephants are fairly good, but he never did. So I was thinking about forward settling him earlier in the game, but I realized it wasn't really. There's no point because I could just get the resources below me, and I was already fighting Persia at the time. So yeah. And now I can kill his general. Oh yeah, and I got my state connection. So now gold wise, I'm doing a bit better. And now I'm just counting the tiles I'll be able to shoot Persepolis from. Let's see. So yeah, let's. I think I stopped building units at this point, or I'm not really sure. I'll have to see, but I'm pretty sure I don't. Now I'm about to connect Braga, because Braga is a fairly quick growing city, just mainly because it doesn't have a lot of production tiles to work, but let's see, what do I get? Stable for production. Yeah, usually I didn't have a jungle start this game, so I didn't go Liberty. There are rare occasions where I go Liberty. If it's a west versus east, if it's even then, no, not really. Mainly only if it's skirmish. If it's west versus east, you can afford to not go Liberty. So it's really only in skirmish where you need Liberty. So yeah, in skirmish I do go Liberty. Also, for whatever reason, he just had his what are those called? The Persians. I don't even know. But whatever it was, he just had him like hanging out, not like defending their city. But yeah, I guess I don't know. This war is warring against the AI in a multiplayer game. You're basically guaranteed. Oh yeah, now I'm building my writers guild because I have no. I don't want to spend any more maintenance than what I am. So yeah, I definitely probably don't build any more units after this. At least it would make sense for me not to. Because like that's a very dangerous thing. Because like early game, I know what the professional or the good Civ players do. Shouldn't really use the term professional because there's not like a professional. There's not like Civ esports. I could have done that more efficiently, but that was just me. For whatever reason, I don't fire upon that. I guess I just don't really care. But yeah, what they normally do is if they war early game, they'll run themselves into a deficit because the science in the early game you're gaining like well at this point you should be gaining around like 100 science if you're doing well, but like early game like compo era, so like pre-turn 150 war, they usually just run their science into the ground with deficit because the science they're earning then is sort of like insignificant compared to like the grand like scheme of the game that might be like a couple or a few turns into a tech or maybe a full tech if it's a prolonged war, but at this point you really don't want to be running a deficit when warring. Oh yeah, see here he gets the Great Wall from, and I think I'm moving at this point because I'm don't really want to deal with the Great Wall. Yeah, I do move in because I'm like this isn't. I have to take the city now. Luckily, chariot archers can still move and then shoot. So I move all my compos into position and then I attack that. Just to get it out of the way. Let's see. Yeah, move there. And move that guy there. 3 spearmen. I think he kills 2 of them and then I end up taking his capital still. So also, it's unfortunate that that horseman is running around pillaging me, but my units are sort of busy right now. So can't really do anything about that. God, it's hard to believe I came back from being this far behind. I guess I know why. So Rome, Indonesia was knocked out. Well, he wasn't completely knocked out. He just had his city taken, I think, by Rome. Or I don't even think he kept it. I think he flipped the city, and Indonesia sort of just like gave up. And then Rome sort of just like dragged himself into the ground with random wars. I think he warred Venice and even India. I don't really know why, but he did. And then after this war, I was sort of just like, I don't think I built a single unit after this war. I was just free to like tech for the entire game at this point, or after the war. So I guess that's just a positive. Oh yeah, and the reason why I was losing so much gold was because I was just finished. I didn't have my trade route finished to Braga. Now yeah, that's a lot of. That city is fairly tough. Let's see, so for I guess there's no point to heal because the pikemen would kill it, but then I move in with these guys just for some extra firepower. And I think I take the city in a couple or few turns, and then I get my Writers Guilds up. Focusing on gold focus. And I also don't think I assigned production tiles after this war either. Normally that's something I like to do in multiplayer as well as single player, but I don't. So it's, yeah, 32 spent on unit maintenance. So I was just making sure it wasn't building maintenance, because that's what usually hits me in the late game, and why the hardest victory for me to stop when going sort of like turtle like this is diplomatic, is because I can't generate the gold to like buy city states off of people. Because I'm using all my trade routes for internal trade. I have almost all the buildings, if not all of them, so that's bringing down my GPT. I normally don't have a lot of units late game. I mainly, if anything, I just mainly have tons of like planes. That's normally how it goes, but yeah, so I'm moving my bombard Persepolis. Yeah, it has walls, so that's gonna help. I think that Spearman actually survives, and I take Persepolis. But I'll have to see. It might be the other Spearman. So yeah, that Barbarian, that's really unfortunate with that Barbarian. Jesus. But yeah, there's nothing I can really do about it. Like, I'm building National Epic in my capital just to reduce the amount of deficit I'm taking from gold. Yeah, I'm not doing too well. It's turn 97, almost at turn 100. That's like the benchmark. That's sort of like, once you're at turn 100, that's like turning from like, that's definitely like mid game, like high mid game, like, and then after that you might hit like early late game with like Renaissance and Industrial, but this point's, or well, early game's usually like ancient and classical, middle is usually like medieval and Renaissance, and then late is sort of like everything beyond that. I guess I don't really know. Oh yeah, so that Spearman does survive. Do I pillage? Yeah, I pillage, because that city still has 2 more sources of gold. And then yeah, I take the city. I actually think I gain happiness by taking the city, if I can recall. No, so yeah, I take his capital. Now I'm bringing my army back to deal with that encampment, but usually when you're like, now he's completely out of the game, so that territory is all mine. So yeah, and I get an amphitheater for my Writers Guild as well as the National Epic. But when you're, I guess, finished with a war, like, even if you like make temporary peace with someone, you sort of like just want to keep your troops around in case they just instantly war you after the 10-turn peace treaty is done. But after this, like, if I knock someone out of the game, or if like you take someone's capital, that'd be, I think I consider taking Venice, but it's just way too well defended and across too many hills. And I also just got out of a war, so I need time to like turtle a bit to build my empire. But you either want to disband your units or to make use of them. I don't think I disband them, because I think I just keep these units for like the entire game. So I think I use them I use them to like scout out and like kill barbarian camps near me, because there's so much room like close to me that is essentially like, that's either prime for like barbarian camp spawning, or just like, yeah, there's just so much unused land around me. And if this was Civ 6, I would settle the hell out of it, but in Civ 5, it's not really wise to do that. Like, I don't think I get any other unique luxuries from settling like anywhere in like my area. I think this is it, like, regarding luxuries. So, oh, I could get the gems, but it's within 4 tiles of Braga, and also if I got a new city, I would have to sell it fairly close to Venice, and I don't really want that. So yeah, now I go for metal casting. Normally I'd go for like compass astronomy frigates, but I'm behind, so I don't really think I can thought. Also, I'd thought, since maybe I wasn't coast, or that Braga didn't have the production for that, it wouldn't be necessary. Oh yeah, I'm looking at Jakarta and Rome. Size 21, it's not too bad. That's actually really good. And then size 18 is also not too bad, but because I'm at what size am I at? I'm at size 16 from feeding my cat. But I guess, to be fair, I was at war, so yeah. Now that's the good part about having all these workers. Also, flatland plains next to river are amazing. That's partially what contributed to me doing well this game, was because I had a great river system near my capital. And like flatland plains are arguably better than flatland grassland because they actually give production to counteract the citizen. Because like if you just work flatland grass like river, that's for food, but at the same time you're not gaining any production for that. So it just really slows down production. So yeah, I'm using my uh, chariots to attack that encampment because I want my worker back, and I also have my general. I don't remember. Oh no, I do remember what I used that general on. I used it on some aluminum later in the game near Persepolis, but I read a book called Persepolis a few years back. I remember it was for English. It was about Iran during the it was it a revolution in Iran? It probably was, but it was like the shift of power between sort of like the Western, like what the government that the Western country. This was like during the Cold War, so like this was like 70s, 80s. I'm not really that good even with history, but because I say lots of stuff that are probably false or that probably is false, but this is during like 70s or 80s. Like at that point in time, the Western nations, I guess you could call them. I don't want to say Westerners because like the people they didn't really care. The people of America didn't care until the hostage crisis, but yeah, and I go commerce, and now I'm actually making gold again, which is good. So, but yeah, so essentially at the time, their government was the made by the Western countries, where it was like sort of like a more progressive Western nation, where like their values are, guess that'd be our values as Westerners, but our values were allowed. But then there was like a revolution where the more conservative, like or more traditional, I should say, Iranians or the revolutionaries, they wanted to be traditional, so then they overthrew uh, the government system we put in place and made their own. And that was detailed in a book called Persepolis, which it's pretty much a children's book. It's like pictures, but I guess it's an easy way to communicate it. Because when I was a few years ago, I wasn't really that interested in history. Now I am very, but I guess I should talk about the game now. Yeah, so now it really starts when I'm looking at victory progress. So technically I'm closest to victory with domination, but I'm starting to get my university up in my capital. That should do well, and I have the food tiles to be able to work it too. Like those, seriously though, my capital, I had such a great start. I didn't really think of it at first, but I had two mining luxuries, which mining luxuries are the best. Mining luxuries, trapping luxuries I don't think there's animal husband luxuries, but you don't really want calendar luxuries. Calendar luxuries are usually bad. So mining, masonry, and trapping luxuries are good. And I had both of those. And now Persepolis is so now I production and then get a courthouse. Yeah, I'm making tons of gold off that say because of all the gold tiles. Jesus, but yeah, I don't know what I do with my units now. I think I sort of just leave them. But well, I mean, I know I eventually move them out for just to prevent barbarian camps from spawning around my cities, but I don't know what I do with them for now. I think it takes me a couple of turns to think of that, but yeah. So yeah, now pretty much for the rest of the game is just gonna be me sitting. So I guess it's not really that interesting, but I guess it really shows you how much it's interesting in a way to see how like what the other nations do, because like at this point I'm basically a non-factor, a non-entity in this game, and by the end I'm the clear victor. And then so like it's interesting to see what the other nations do. Now I kill the encampment, so India also doesn't really do anything the whole game, so I think I moved that guy there, but I think he gets like sort of caught by that barbarian camp on the left, so yeah, I have no real clue what I do. Yeah, after I put all this stuff with my workers, I forgot. Yeah, I saved that general for when I get there is no city, or there are no city states I can general. Oh yeah, apparently India's a university. I don't know why he wasn't doing so well in science. He had a he's India, which allows you to play real tall pop. He has a jungle capital, so he really should have had done fairly well in science, if not the same as Rome and Indonesia, better. But it's whatever. He do what he want. Because I'm not sure whether he had more than 2 saves the whole game. Because the game ends or at least everyone leaves right about the time I get. Also, my first career. Anyway, everyone leaves at about the time I get satellites. I don't think I eventually reach it, but I think I'm researching it when the last person Rome leaves. But say I'm using my scout to. I do think I leave units in my saves though, because the oligarchy bonus, and that's pretty much it. But so I'm working to get these flatland plains tiles up, because you can sort of just with those tiles you can set your city production focus and just sort of watch it grow. Those tiles are extremely good. I don't remember I leave my, and now I get my university. So we're gonna want to work those tiles. Do I go for Coliseum or Garden? Yeah, I think I go for Coliseum. I didn't really go for a Garden. Oh wait, let's see what apparently I changed it, so I'll have to see, or at least that's what it looks like. Because I recorded this game 2 weeks ago, or no, a week and a couple days ago, so okay. So now I'm not doing as bad science. 76 still isn't good, but it's not 20 or 30. Yeah. I think I sort of just set that cherry on Also, I usually only end up cutting bananas if it's on hill. Or any jungle at all if it's on hill. I usually end up cutting. I usually don't cut jungle on plains or grassland, mainly because, especially grassland, because all it does is it gives you one more food, versus if you get jungle, if you get train posts on that, and even without the train posts, you get signs. So food isn't really a concern for me, because I could always just use caravans, which is what I normally do. So yeah. Let's see, what do I get now? I think printing press. That's usually my next beeline, because I know the World Congress is already going to be found. So oh yeah, so Enrico Dandolo, and I think I tried. Yeah, I tried. I tried training with him, and I think if you just look at his status towards me, it's just, yeah, it's really obnoxious regarding the AI. I think with Civ 6, the AI definitely seems to fluctuate more in their attitude towards you. In Civ 5, it does that sometimes, but in scenarios like this where the AI just hates me for the entire game, just, yeah, he doesn't. Do we even have? Yeah, he doesn't want it. Yeah, he has negatives that last for the entire game. So just in this game, it's really only bad with AI, regarding religion and ideology. Because if you're a different religion and or different ideology, you're basically not going to be friendly with an AI. That's the thing. And I hate that I'm not growing to that bananas tile, because bananas on hills banana plantations on hills, that's 4 food, 1 production, which isn't that bad. So yeah, I'd actually really prefer that. But for whatever reason, my C doesn't expand to it. I don't know why, but I guess it's just Civ coding. Yeah. Now looking at, I could have probably sell one more state to the west, but I just honestly didn't care. I thought Porto was going to be my only source of gold. It acted as my only source of cotton, but I didn't anticipate on actually taking Persepolis. I'm pretty sure I anticipate on taking India first, because, or at least I'm pretty sure that's what I thought I was going to do, because sort of he's just sort of trapped in the corner, so it wouldn't really make sense to take him out first. So I guess I don't really know, but I remember that's what I ended up thinking. All right, so now I get the workshop for the production, because now I actually have some form of gold. What do I get in that city? Oh no, I just get the National College straight up. In that city, I get a workshop, right? I have no clue what I'm doing at this point in time. Oh no, the workers screwing things up. That's why. Oh, I looked to see if I remember. I was confused as to why I could build the National College, because I thought that city didn't have a library since I annexed it, but it did. So. It was yeah, I do build the workshop first. Usually I go for infrastructure over science in almost every case, before. That's usually what I do early game. You can build up science, but infrastructure is really more important. unless it's late game, like if you're picking labs over hospitals, which is really not a good comparison because you'd almost never have them at around the same time, but you would either beeline hospitals mainly for like the naval tech, or you beeline labs for like infantry, or beeline plastics for labs and infantry. So, but yeah, I do end up moving those crossbows now that the barbs are gone, and then that composite's gonna help me just help ward off any barbarian camps from spawning. Just give me vision on that territory. Now I get my university. I actually don't think I get an observatory in Porto for quite a while. Observatories are really only worth beelining for if they're in your capital, or unless you're in like a good second city where you can get a national college up in there, and then you can also get the observatory. But my second city isn't as good as my capital, so my capital is all the growth and all the production. I forgot, I still have Sun God in my capital. Oh yeah, look at Rome, Indonesia, Venice, topping all the stats. So I'm surprised no one's entered the Renaissance era at this point. Not even Rome apparently has. But workshop in 7. I don't even really think I end up working that. I don't work my specialists except for like my scientists in my other cities. Oh yeah, I'm gonna send out my chariot to just ward off, to like give me vision. Is this the worst thing that can happen? Like I'm trying to turtle and then some random barb camp spawns like right next to me. Now I'm working on my road to Persepolis because I got all my river tiles improved. So yeah, let's get a workshop in that city. And now I can work the scientist. I don't know why I'm still working gold, but I just am. Oh yeah, I do take off gold, I think, at this point. No, I leave it on. I don't really know what I'm doing. But courthouse, that's more happiness, and now I get a monument, most likely. I sort of just work my way down with all the infrastructure stuff, and then I eventually get like the science stuff and everything else, but or unless I might get something if it's like one turn, but oh yeah, he says so India apparently apparently where Braga is, that's an inland sea, but I never really bothered to check. Oh yeah, I moved my where does that go? I don't even know. Oh, I think it goes to like yeah, I have no clue actually. Yeah, I'm sort of just like sending out my units. I could disband them, but I think I'm sending them out to prevent barb camps from spawning. And I'm not really worried about India warring me because my cities are really defensive, like against attack from India. Like it'd be near impossible to take Braga unless by sea. Lisbon is fairly far away. You can't really take Lisbon without taking Porto and Braga. Or you could probably just take Porto if you want. Oh yeah, I noticed he settled Batam, that's a fairly good settlement, but yeah, I noticed Rome has that machinery already. Yeah, Rome is doing fairly well. I'm not, so. Oh yeah, I'm already trying to stir conflict. I usually only do this type of stuff if I honestly don't think I'm gonna win. Because I think at this point I was sort of just like thought I was too far behind. I was just like, yeah, Roman